Hello everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another video and a little bit more about my story. Welcome to Bailey Farm on this really nice warm spring day. As you can hear in the background, the birds and frogs are very active today. The sun's not out, the snow's melting, and if you listen carefully you might hear the stream in the background. What you won't hear out here are cars, airplanes, mostly just the sound of nature. We're in the middle of mud season, so we do have cars occasionally, but this season everybody avoids. The roads get pretty deep with it. It's a lot of fun going mudding. So we left off when I was 16 and with our purpose in life. We're going to continue along that theme so that you can see how my stories can kind of weave into my purpose, just like your stories weave into your purpose. Come on, guys. Those are the blue jays you hear. We put food out for them on the ground, and when they see me out here, they come circling around screaming to put more food down. We have a lot of wildlife, and we have the turkeys that we like to feed. This morning we had 5 females and 1 male. I'll get a shot of them at some point so that you can see them, but they are really funny and a lot of fun to have around. They eat the ticks, which is really great. So back to my purpose in life and my experiences as I was growing up. So in the 10th grade, I joined the drama club. I've always been a very shy kid, and I didn't make friends easily. I was just too shy. People didn't talk to me. But when they found out that I could be a lot of fun, I was just shy. They took to me rather well, but it took me a long time to come out of my shell. So I decided to join the drama club so that I could come out of my shell a bit, do some acting. I've always wanted to be an actress. And so I did some singing and dancing and acting on stage for a couple of years. And even though I had my own apartment with my sister and did some cooking and I worked after school and did my homework, I still found time to work with the plays and drama. I've always kept myself pretty darn busy, and today is no exception. So I made a friend that year, and we loved doing the same things, listening to music, talking about boys, and running through the fields barefoot, laying in the grass, looking up at the clouds. It's always been one of my favorite pastimes. It's cloud watching. My parents were in California. They were doing well. And we saved enough money from working to fly out there to visit them. So we went out there and went to Disney World, which was kind of like a fairy tale dream come true. After years of sitting in front of a little tiny television, black and white, watching the wonderful world of Disney every Sunday night. I'm sure some of you have watched it. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. That's okay. Anyway, so I grew up in rural Massachusetts, and during the summer of my 17th year, after 10th grade, my parents came back from California. They felt it was too far away, didn't want to be that far away from family. So they stayed in their camper at my aunt and uncle's house, which was in rural Massachusetts. And they had a swimming pool, and I had a great time with my young sisters. I really had missed them a lot. And my older cousins, who were boys, taught me how to drink. We went into the woods and drank beer, built fires, and I met this very good-looking young man, and his nickname was Bunny. So he was blonde, and his eyes were as blue as that blue jay that just went overhead. And he was always very tan. He worked outside. So when the summer came to an end, my family decided to go to Florida where my dad was able to find a job. So he had a job to start when we went back down. And I decided to go with them. I wasn't sure if I was going to stay because I was going to be a senior in high school and thinking about going to high school my senior year someplace different. It just didn't appeal to me, but I really had missed my family and I went with them. But I realized when I got down there after a couple weeks that it just wasn't going to work. Plus, I missed that good-looking young man that I had been dating. So I returned home and finished my senior year in Massachusetts. When I was 18, I graduated. That was 1974, and I got married right after graduation. I worked in jewelry factories, and my marriage ended up to be very unhappy. So after 2 years, I begged him to move to Florida with me so I could be near my family, and told him we'd probably only stay for a year and come back. But after a year, we ended up divorcing, and we had no children, which was very fortunate because we didn't use any birth control. So again, I think the universe guides our lives and helps us through in order to fulfill our purpose. In the spring of 1978, I met my current husband. I was 22 years old, and his name is Bill. He told me he had seen my face in a dream many years before we met. So when he met me, he knew who I was. We knew each other from a past life. I knew nothing about past lives at that time, and he didn't really say anything about that. But we felt like we belonged together. We fit together kind of like Lego blocks fit together. It just felt right. We were married in 1978, and I became a cake decorator for the bakery at Public Supermarket. I enjoyed decorating cakes. That was really a lot of fun. My creative side came out, and I love painting and creating things, and the cakes were no exception. I enjoyed doing cake decorating very much. So we were married in November of 1978. His mom and I became very good friends. She introduced me to the world of metaphysics and the occult. She was very psychic. I read Edgar Cayce, Ruth Montgomery, and many other books. I read very quickly. And as I've mentioned before, I really didn't read that much, but when I found something that really piqued my interest, I read and read and read, and I learned a great deal. I learned about reincarnation and meditation, psychic abilities, auras. Oh my God, I had a word for the beautiful lights that I've seen all my life. Yoga, soul groups that reincarnate together, healing circles. And we meditated, his family and I, we all meditated together and did healing circles. We used white light for healing, and a lot of visions from the past started coming. So I received visions of living in Virginia with my husband, Bill. We were very wealthy, but we were very unhappy. So that kind of helped me understand our life together later on, because we were never very wealthy. It's not something that we strived to be. We just wanted to get by. I wanted to be home with my children, so I didn't work while they were young. I wanted to raise my own children. And we were never wealthy, but we made it by. So in 1979, I gave birth to my son. I was pretty young. I was 23, but I enjoyed being a mother. I wanted to stay at home, and I cradled him in white light. And when he was 18 months old, he used to sit in my lap while I meditated, and would bring the white light in. And he would sit there so quietly for quite a long time for an 18-month-old child. Life was good. We had a good time. My family lived next door from where we lived. So learning all these new things and incorporating that in my daily life was just a miracle. It was a blessing. We decided we wanted to get out of the city because we lived in Fort Lauderdale, and it was pretty busy. Bill and I both loved the outdoors. We always dreamed of living in the country. So we moved to Apopka, Florida, which was outside of Orlando, in 1980. We had our first garden there. I became a stained glass artist. Bill's a glazer, so that was kind of a natural course for me to get into glazing. We weren't wealthy, as I said, but I stayed home and I was with my children, and I think it made a nice difference. I'm not saying you can't go to work and your children will be unhealthy. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted for me and for my children. So therefore, it was very, very important to me. During that time, I found the Spiral Circle bookstore and continued to learn many different philosophies. I continued to meditate, and the visions came, and different lifetimes as they pertain to my life and my studies. They came as I needed them. Your visions or your peep into past lives don't happen unless you really need to see them. So I saw myself in Paris as an artist. I played piano in a lot of my lives. My son was my mother in a life. We had several lifetimes together with various relationships. My lifetimes with Bill were some happy and some not. We met people who we were entangled with before, but everything that we have done so far in this life, I believe we've been healing those old wounds and working through our karmic ties. And that's what we do. That's what we're here for. I saw lifetimes in Egypt, India, Japan, and many times as a Native American. Many, many others. When I was 29, I gave birth to our daughter in 1985. Our son named her. He was very, very close to me and would always put his hand on my stomach and feel the baby kicking, and he wanted to call her Elizabeth, and I said that was fine. She was part of our soul group. I prayed for her. I was told by Bill's mom that we had one more person out there in our soul group, and so I prayed that she came to me, or he or she. I didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl. And so that our son, Richard and Elizabeth, would be very close. And they are very close to this day. They're both Aries, so they have a lot in common. They understand each other really well. It always cracked me up when they were young and they were watching cartoons together. They would burst out laughing at the same exact second, always. And it was so funny to hear. I'd be down in the kitchen cooking and I could hear them upstairs laughing like crazy. We had a good life together and a lot of fun. Well, when I was pregnant with Liz, right at the very end, when I was in labor actually, I was pacing in the dark by myself at night, and I was kind of timing my labor pains. And I kind of looked up, and all of a sudden, I was no longer in the living room. I was in a field. And this was so real and a little scary. I kind of jumped because I'm looking around, and I was in a field of grass. There was a full moon, and I had a Native American blanket with beautiful designs on it wrapped around my shoulders. And I was in labor. So I was brought right into that lifetime, and I felt it. I could feel it. I could smell it. I could see the breeze blowing in the grass. And as quick as it came, it went away, and I was back in my living room. And there goes my chickens. Are you done singing? While Elizabeth was a baby, I meditated for 3 hours every single day. She had a very long nap time. We were up half the night. She had to eat every 2 hours. She was hypoglycemic. I didn't know that at the time. Chickens. So she would take a long nap, and I would meditate. And my meditations became very deep, very clear. I moved out of my body. I floated into a state of bliss and into the beautiful light. I released myself from the worry and heaviness of life for several hours a day, and that taught me a lot. It lifted me out of fear. And the chickens are agreeing with me. It was a very nice experience. So while I was in Orlando and still going to the Spiral Circle bookstore, I read Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And then I studied the self-realization texts using the study guides that Paramahansa wrote. I was part of a core group at the bookstore of 4 people, and we started a meditation group. I was in charge of presenting the healing meditations. So during the day, when I would meditate, I would kind of see and put together this meditation in my mind or hear this meditation. I don't know how I got the information, but I felt and saw and heard this meditation, and so I would go in on our meditation day and I would recite this meditation, this healing meditation that we could all use. And within a few days after receiving these instructions or these meditations, I would actually read about them in the study manuals. So Yogananda was working with me right from the beginning, right ever since I started reading his book. And it was very peaceful. It was very, very comforting. And to see that written out in the book the next day, it kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was very, very new to all of this. And this isn't something I could talk to about just anybody, because people just didn't understand that, especially back in the 80s. So it seems to have quieted down out here. I'm going to leave off there with my life. Everything I've experienced, the drama, the club, acting, it prepared me for what I have to do. And deep inside of me, I know I can come out of this closet and work with people. And when I sat down just a few years ago and wrote down everything that I learned from my life, it was all pointing me in this direction. So I'm getting out there, and I'll do this. It's very interesting. So I'm going to stop, and I will do the meditation that I was given by Yogananda, that I used in the meditation group back in the 80s. So I want you to find a comfortable position. You can sit down, you can lay down. You can relax. Maybe you can hear the stream now. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and release them slowly. Bring your mind to your breath. Think about your breathing. And know that how you are breathing right now is how you should be breathing. There's no right way or wrong way to breathe. Just breathe. Just think about it, but don't try to control it. Enjoy each breath. We're breathing in this beautiful oxygen and this energy that's all around us. Now I want you to use your imagination and surround yourself with a brilliant, brilliant white light. See it going through your body, all around your body, and down into the center of the earth. Feel the energy that comes with this beautiful light. Now, using your imagination, I want you to send it out. I want you to surround everybody and everything in your surroundings, in your city that you're in. Start to see it from up above the city. So I'm looking at the town that I'm in. I'm seeing the trees, the birds, people, the grass. And now I'm going up higher and I can see the surrounding communities, the lakes, all the animals, all the critters, all the people, surrounding everything with white light. And you just keep moving out until you can see the entire world, our beautiful blue planet, completely glowing in this brilliant white light, healing and energizing everything from the Earth's core on up. Our air, our oceans, fish, dolphins, birds. Now keep going up until you can see our solar system and bring that light with you. Surround every planet, every moon. See our sun in the middle of it. This brilliant light is surrounding our solar system, energizing, healing, and guiding our solar system. Now continue to go up again, out into the universe. Bring this light out into the universe, the source of all things. Take it out into infinity. Be it one with all that is. Be it one with this light. Be it one with the emptiness of the universe and the fullness of the universe. We're all connected through this light. We are all beings of light. And we are immense. We are so immense when we expand our energy out into infinity, out into limitless, unlimited possibilities. This is the oneness of all things. This is who we truly are. Just breathe through this experience. Feel the calmness it brings within. This is a place of peace. Just stay here for another minute. Feel the lightness of being in this light and in this realm. When we shed this body, we return into this light. Memories intact. So now I want you to slowly come back, pull yourself back in. You're coming back from the universe to our solar system, down past our moon, back to the earth, back to where you are, and back to the body. Thank you for coming with me on this beautiful little journey. You can sit quiet for a little while if you'd like, or you can shake your hands, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes. Thank you for being with me. Blessings to all. I love you.